Hey guys, this is Navinad. As promised, anybody that's been keeping track, today I am going to read a little bit of my book that I'm writing, just a little snippet of a chapter that I actually finished today. I'm on chapter 3. The book is going to be about the edges in poker, where the profit and ultimate comes from, and what to do to get more than your fair share of it. So the focus of the book is going to be on the three post-flop edges you can have. The three edges, there's only three edges that you can have going to the flop and no limit hold'em. You can be starting with the best or really most appropriate hand for the situation, but you could say it as starting with the best hand, playing in position, or being able to play better after the flop. So post-flop skill. If you don't have a skill edge, you don't have card advantage, and you don't have the position, then you are not going to make a profit in the long run. It's as simple as that. So the book is going to focus on how to get ourselves in more situations that are profitable more often. The section that this video is going to focus on, this part of the book that I'm going to read, this excerpt is going to be taken from, is the pre-flop section. So it's not the beginning, not the end, sort of the middle of the pre-flop section. And I have not proofread this. I finished this today. I haven't went back and checked it for grammar or for flow or style, so it's going to be pretty rough. It's a very rough draft, the absolute first draft, so bear with me a little bit, but here we go. This is page 6. This is starting on page 6 of the pre-flop section. Keeping the secondary factors in mind can aid your range construction when circumstances are just so, may add a little bit of profit to your overall strategy or game plan, but I'd caution you against taking these ideas too far. I believe the best way to analyze, quote, hand anatomy, end quote, and construct default ranges will be to focus mostly on the four fundamental factors. Those factors, again, are domination rating, showdown value, nut potential, and synergy. And hands that have high domination rating contain either two big cards or a big pair and can pretty easily hit flops in ways that make good hands, while your opponent makes a good second best hand. Ace, Ace, and Ace, King are two very good examples of dominant hands. Imagine a scenario where you open raise from middle position and are called by a player in the big blind. You hold Ace, King, or Ace, Ace, and the flop comes King, XX. If your opponent holds a hand like King, Queen, King, Jack, or King 10 suited, you can see all the trouble he is in. Big pots are most often contested and therefore won and lost when opposing players hold what they both believe to be the likely best hand. If you have a hand that dominates your opponent's hand, you will very often win 3 full streets of value from the situation. Winning 3 streets of value is a huge victory in no limit hold'em. Gaining a third street of value compared to just 2 streets can often be worth more money or more profit than all other streets in the hand combined. Hands that have built-in showdown value, or SDV, can occasionally win pots without improving on the flop, turn, or river. Pocket pairs have the most showdown value, followed by ace-x hands. The bigger the pair, the more showdown value it has built into it, and the bigger the kicker your ace-x hand has, the more showdown value it has, and the more equity it will tend to have as hands play out. Hands like big ace-x combos and pocket pairs have the potential to connect with the board and become legitimate value hands, but they will win some pots simply by checking down and winning a showdown. Sometimes it will be possible to bluff catch a street with a hand like ace, king, or a8 and win a slightly larger pot without even connecting or improving. Unimproved pocket pairs excuse me. Unimproved pocket pairs will have more absolute showdown value on the flop and turn than unimproved ace-x combos, but ace-x combos will tend to have more outs when behind. You can extend the concept of showdown value to other starting hands like King X and even Queen X hands in some situations. Remember, the relative showdown value intrinsically built into a starting hand declines very rapidly from pocket pair to ace-x, and even more so moving from ace-x to King X or King X to Queen X. Nut potential. Nut potential refers to a hand's potential to connect with the flop in such a way that you would play it like the effect of nuts and happily put in 100 big blinds or more on the flop if given the chance to do so. Hands like king, queen suited and 9-8 suited have reasonable nut potential, but the hands with the best nut potential are the pocket pairs. It is about as likely to flop a set with 2-2 as it is to flop even a flush draw with 2 suited cards. Ace-X suited hands with either a Broadway or wheel kicker, Ace-2 suited through Ace-5 suited, and Ace-10 suited through Ace-King suited, are the next in line behind the pocket pairs when it comes to nut potential. Note, from this point forward, I will refer to hands that contain an ace and another card between 2 and 5 that are the same suit, so Ace-2 suited through Ace-5 suited, as Ace-W suited, Ace-Wheel suited, which stands for Ace-Wheel suited and refers to the potential to make the wheel, or the Ace-2, 3, 4, or 5 straight, in addition to the ability to make an ace-high flush. The fundamental factor I refer to as synergy could also be called connectivity and describes how well the two cards that make up the starting hand work together. The way synergistic combos work well together is in their ability to make strong draws, combo draws, made flushes, and made straights. The ultimate in synergistic hands are those that are both suited and connected, and that have many card ranks on either side of them so they can make the maximum number of straights. A hand like 9-8 suited is a perfect example of a highly synergistic hand, or a high synergy hand, because there are at least 4 ranks above 9 and at least 4 ranks below 8. 9-8 will make at least as many straights and straight draws as any other combo. A hand like Queen Jack, while connected, will make slightly fewer straights and straight draws than 9-8 because it's limited to 10 Jack, Queen, King, Ace on the high end. There is no card higher than the Ace, so the hand cannot make a straight using the Jack as the low card in the 5-card run of straights and straight draws possible. Regarding flush and flush draw potential for a hand like 9-8 suited, it will obviously make just as many flush and flush draws as any other suited combo and will make many more than any offsuit hand combo. Now that I've introduced the fundamental and secondary factors of hand anatomy, the question is, how should we use these factors to play poker more profitably? The short answer is, we use these considerations to construct our default ranges and to make exploitive adjustments to our ranges against specific players and under specific conditions. The way we should do this is to think about which hands rate best in each factor and where the value of each of these factors lies. We have already established that, quote, card advantage is one of the 3 edges a poker player can have heading to the flop and no limit hold'em. So how do we see to it that we are heading to the flop with card advantage more often than our opponents? The answer is, we get to the flop with card advantage more often than our opponents when we construct our individual ranges better than our opponents do. What does it mean to, quote, construct a good range, end quote? What does a good range look like, and what makes it good? These are fairly high-level concepts that I will spend the next section of the book exploring. Or I will spend the next section of this book exploring what exactly constitutes an effective range. A very good measure, I think that's it for the slideshow, a very good measure of effective range construction is simply the number of hands that range composition will allow you to play profitably. All other things equal, the player who is able to play more hands at a profit will make the most money. How do we accomplish the goal of playing the maximum number of hands in a plus EV manner? We accomplish that goal by using the best hands for the best tasks. Efficiency is the hallmark of a well-constructed pre-flop range. To a knowledgeable player, a range will even seem to have a level of elegance to it, so long as it is properly formed. The meme, a place for everything and everything in its place, should come to mind. And I think I'm going to stop there. The next part is going to be an example, a way that I illustrated a concept of the concept of range elegance. I think, well, let's see. I was discussing using building a range from the button 100 big blinds facing a 3 times the big blind open raise from the player in cutoff position, and then giving examples of what our range might, quote, look like. You know, the hands that we fold would not be part of that range, but looking at the hands that we would use to flat call compared to 3-bet, and then we start to explore concepts like board coverage and polarization versus range merging. So I think that's going to do it for now. I hope that wasn't too bland. I'm kind of out of practice when it comes to reading from a script. Normally the videos I make, I don't write scripts, and that felt an awful lot like reading a script. But so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a taste for what the book might be and might not be about. Until next time, guys, Navinat, over and out. Good quote, Luck, exclamation point, end quote.